Want help to grow your business? Download Bryn, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit bryn.ai or search the App Store today.
Hi everyone, my name's Pete Quist. Welcome to Teach Me Tech. Today we're going to take a look at how to get started with Upwork.com. Hi everyone, welcome to Teach Me Tech. My name's Pete Quist, and this is the show where we take new and complex ideas and tools online, we break them down for you and make them as easy as possible for you to implement them into your own business. I hope you can follow along at home. Today, we're going to take a look at how to get started with Upwork, upwork.com. So if you have a computer screen, I want you to remember there's two quick things before we get started. Number one is you can follow along. These sessions are highly practical. So if you've got a second screen at home, you can actually get onto that second screen, and as we go through the process here in the studio, you can go through that process at home too, or at your business, and you can check out exactly what we're doing and get started implementing it into your own business. Because remember, this information is not value unless you implement it for yourself. And also, we want you to use that hashtag #TeachMeTech. Ask and share. Ask any questions, share your ideas, share your experiences, share your wisdom. Maybe you are a genius when it comes to Upwork. By all means, you might know a lot more than we do, so we'd love you to jump in and help the community, whether it be on Facebook, Twitter, or any of the other platforms. Remember, just use that hashtag #TeachMeTech and get involved. Now, what are we going to cover today? Well, let's take a peek. What is outsourcing and why is it important to your business? Now, I'll be very specific when I cover this stuff off because I think outsourcing is probably the single biggest thing that can make a difference to your business right now. We're also going to take a look at the types of jobs you can get done using Upwork. We're going to take a look at a list of some of the major players when it comes to outsourcing because Upwork isn't the only one. 5 reasons why we like Upwork.com for business outsourcing. 5 common mistakes new users make when getting started. How to get started with Upwork and set up your account. How to set up your business profile and payment options. A quick tour of Upwork and how to navigate the website. And finally, the easiest way to get started and post your first job on Upwork. Let's get started. So, what is outsourcing and why is it important to your business? Well, this is something that I'm truly passionate about because it changed my business, and since I first came to learn about outsourcing properly in my business, I've been able to share it with a lot of other business owners, and I've seen what it's done for their business too. I know it can do the same for yours. So outsourcing is basically the process of having someone else do a job for you. So when people talk about outsourcing, they might say, oh, it's outsourcing websites or it's outsourcing tasks for business. No. I think of outsourcing any time you pay an expert to do a job for you. So for example, at home, if my toilet leaks, I have a couple of options. I can go onto YouTube and try to figure out how to become a plumber. Or I can call a plumber and have them come in and fix the toilet for me. So in that case, I'm always going to go with the option where I hire an expert. But you know what? That's outsourcing. So you already do this in your life. But the question is, how do we take it to the next level? And the next level is we use outsourcing as a tool to leverage our own lives. Basically, if there's a task that you can hire someone else to do they're better at it, or it's going to be cheaper, or they have the resources or tools that they can use, why wouldn't you pay someone else to do it? I mean, that's the question. You know, some people say, oh man, I hate mowing the lawn. Well, you know what? If you can pay a kid a couple of bucks an hour to mow your lawn, they're going to be ecstatic that they can... Ecstatic? Did I say that right? Ecstatic that they can mow your lawn, and you don't have to do it. For me, mowing the lawn was one of the things that I absolutely hated, and it was actually one of the first tasks that I took off my plate. And now, to this day, I still have someone mow my lawn because I can earn more money doing what I'm good at and what I enjoy more. So why wouldn't I go and do the work that I'm good at, that I enjoy more, that I get paid more for, and then pay someone else to mow the lawn? Why wouldn't I do that? I'm buying back time. I'm buying back time with my family. I'm buying back time for myself to do the things that I want to do. So keep that in mind. The next time you're doing something that you hate doing, can you pay someone else to do it? The next time that you find yourself doing something that you don't actually have the skills to do. Can you pay someone else to do that and leverage that? Now, the other great thing is we can leverage currencies when it comes to things like Upwork, because quite often experts are located in countries where they may not have as strong a US dollar as your country. Upwork works in US dollars primarily, so you can look at that. They're branching out into other currencies as well, but if you're working in American dollars, you might find other countries like India and the Philippines where experts are willing to work for what would seem much less. Why? Because the American dollar is worth so much more in those countries. Does that mean that they're not as good? No, absolutely not. These people are still experts, and that's what I want to stress. So check that out when you're outsourcing. So for me, I'm passionate about it. I hope you become passionate about it too in your business. Now, people also ask me, Pete, you're sending jobs offshore. Are you taking work away from local employees? And this is something I wanted to cover off because I think it's really important. For me and my business, I can only share my story. For me to run my business, I simply couldn't afford to do it unless I was able to hire experts at a lower rate so that I could compete. Now, people say, well, wouldn't you be hiring locally? If I was hiring locally, what would happen? I'd go out of business. It's as simple as that. So option A is if I hire locally, I'd go out of business. And then I have to go looking for a job and rely on someone else to provide me a job. Not a great thing for the economy. Or I can outsource some of these tasks in my business. And when I outsource some of these tasks in my business, remember, not all tasks can be done overseas. Some tasks have to be done locally. And in fact, when you outsource and outsourcing websites, you can outsource to someone who's in your own country. So it doesn't necessarily mean overseas. But if I do hire someone overseas for my business, then that meant I needed to hire more people locally to fill the gaps of my business. Things like my accountant, things like people I needed to speak to in my own office to get tasks done. I needed to hire someone locally to complete those tasks. So I'm putting more money back into the local economy because of the money that I'm able to make from a business that I can run because I can outsource. I hope that makes sense. It made sense to me. So let's move on. The types of jobs that you can get done using Upwork. So why don't we jump onto the Odesk website? So I'll jump onto the Odesk website now and we can take a look at some of those jobs just by browsing around the website. So I've got another tab that's open here. So let me bring that up for you right now. Here's the Odesk. I keep saying Odesk. Why do I say Odesk? It used to be called Odesk. It's now called Upwork. So you can even see it in the logo there in the corner just to remind me, which is quite helpful. So if we take a look at the Upwork website, we can actually click the browse button right here. And when we click the browse button, it actually comes up with the different categories that we have. So I talked about what types of jobs can you get done. Well, some of these tabs here: web developers, mobile developers, designers and creatives, writers, virtual assistants, customer service agents, sales and marketing experts, accountants and consultants, and there's a whole lot more. That just gets you started. Now, some of you might be watching this and going, what's a virtual assistant? Well, it's the same as a personal assistant, but they don't sit next to you. Now, for most people, they think of virtual assistants as being overseas so that you can hire them at more flexible rates compared to your currency. But a virtual assistant could be someone that's in the house next door. They're just not sitting next to you. So that is always a great place to start with outsourcing, because what I want you to do is sit down and write down all those tasks we talked about before that you don't like, that you hate doing, that you'd rather be doing something else. Because a lot of those tasks can actually be done by a person who's just a general virtual assistant, because they're not tasks that are specialized. They're just tasks that you do every day. If you can systemize it, you can outsource it. And there's some of the tasks that you can do. Now, the next thing that we want to do is take a look at some of the other major players when it comes to outsourcing. And there are quite a few of them. Now, this list isn't by any means exhaustive. So remember to use the hashtag TeachMeTech if you want to take a look or discuss some of the other websites that do outsourcing. Now, in future episodes of Teach Me Tech, we'll take a look at some of these other websites too. But for now, we're just going to focus on Upwork. Elance is the first one that I want to take a look at because it used to be a separate company to Odesk, but Elance merged with Odesk, and in the future, Elance will become part of the Upwork community, but you might know that from elsewhere. Another one that people use and people talk about with me a lot is Guru, and you can see there's 1.5 million members worldwide, over 1 million completed jobs, and $200 million paid to gurus. There's a lot of money in these businesses. The next one is Freelancer, and I know a lot of people who work from the Freelancer platform. And finally, we'll take a look at another one, which is Fiverr. Now, I love Fiverr. There's a Teach Me Tech episode where we talk about Fiverr and getting started and some looking a bit more in depth with the Fiverr community. Fiverr's a little bit different because generally on Fiverr, you find people that put up jobs that they're willing to do. Whereas when we talk about something like Upwork, we're going to take a look at posting a job and people then apply for that job. So there's the difference in outsourcing between those two websites. But today, we're just going to take a look at Upwork. So if we jump back into our slides, what we might do is see where we're up to in the presentation so far. So we've just taken a look at the list of some of the major players when it comes to outsourcing. Next, we want to take a look at 5 reasons why we like Upwork.com for business outsourcing. Now, there's a lot of reasons we like Upwork.com, and people always say, oh, why don't you use some of these other ones? And I can see people jumping on the hashtag already saying, oh, I prefer this and I use that one instead. For me, it's as simple as this. When I first started outsourcing many years ago, I jumped online and I posted my first job on a bunch of different websites, and I just found the best quality of applicants and the best ease of use, or the most easy to use website, was Odesk. I got started there. I never changed. I never had a reason to change. You might have a story that's somewhat similar that you want to share on social media, or you might have a more specific reason why you use one over the other. But that's why I started with Upwork myself. Now, with Upwork, something that I also like is the fact that the size of the workforce is over 1 million people. Over 1 million people in 2013, so years ago. So it's growing exponentially. So there's a lot of people around the world that you can hire to complete your job. Number 2, they find you when you post a job. You can post a job and you get these people apply for your job without you having to go searching for them, which saves you a lot of time as a business owner. Now, also, you can search for them too. So you can actually go to a provider and say, hey, I want you to apply for my job. So it works both ways on Upwork. And I really like that. And that's one of the skills that I'm going to talk about in the future about Upwork itself. Also, we've got flexible staff. Now, when it comes to business, if you're anything like I was when I started outsourcing, you want to make sure that you've got a flexible workforce. You want to have people that can work casual and on demand. And you can find that type of flexible workforce on Upwork.com. So when you have the demand in your business, you can head to the website, or you can save the providers and you can work with them directly on specific tasks as they come up in your business, which I absolutely love. Also, what I love about Upwork is they control all the billing and paperwork. You just have to click the button to activate it, and what happens is Upwork takes care of everything. When you need your paperwork, you can simply jump online, you can get a printout, you can have a look at all the work diaries, anything in particular, and you know that Upwork's going to take care of all of that for you. So as a small business in particular, you know that that's a really valuable tool to have. And number 5 is the ease of use. I just found, like I said, it so easy to use when I got started outsourcing, just simply because it's easy to find your way around. It's very easy to post a job. And if you get stuck, there's always support there for you to back you up and to help you guide you through those more difficult times. Now, coming up after the break, we're going to take a look at 5 common mistakes new users make when getting started on Upwork. You are watching Teach Me Tech. Welcome back. You're watching Teach Me Tech, the show that takes new and complex tools and ideas online, breaks them down, makes them as simple as possible. My name's Pete Quist. We're talking about Upwork.com today. And right now we're going to have a look at 5 common mistakes that new users make when getting started. So, for me, if I had have known these common mistakes when I got started on Upwork, these would have been
To continue enjoying this presentation, download Bryn, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit Bryn.ai or search the App Store today.